Joining us now, a key player for giving Joe Biden's campaign some momentum, Congressman Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, also the House Majority Whip. Congressman, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. We know that you played a substantial part in getting Mr. Biden this far. A lot of folks have said that it was you that resurrected that struggling campaign in South Carolina ahead of the primary. How involved were you in the process of selecting his running mate?
Well, thank you very much for having me. But, I talked with the vice president throughout this process. I kept telling him what I said to the public, that it would be a great plus for my three daughters and the daughters all around the country for it to be an African-American woman. But I told him I did not think it was a must. But I thought he should do the vetting, do the polling to see who the rest of the country felt comfortable with, and then let his head and his heart take a look. And I think that's what he did. The last time I talked with him about this was a day before the selection, and he says, I'm putting my head and my heart to work, and I'll give you a call before going public. And that's what he did.
The criticism has already started, as you know, Congressman. Senator Harris has spent a majority of her career as a prosecutor, more than 2 decades there in California. Some in your party in the past have pointed to that time, especially her drug convictions as a contributor to mass incarceration there in California and America at large. How does the Biden-Harris campaign plan to rebut that criticism specifically?
Well, Melvin, as you know, when you take on a job like this, any job that is non-traditional for people of color or for women, you're going to get those kinds of criticisms. But the fact of the matter is, I saw a defender who was up against her all the time, who said in an op-ed piece just several days ago, that she was the most progressive prosecutor in California. And she said, I'm saying this as someone who did not always agree with her. And I think this is going to happen. She also got criticized by some for not being for the death penalty. So with all of these kinds of positions, you have to take on the bitter with the sweet. And sometimes it seems to be more of one than the other. But I think she's an outstanding person. But let me say this. If we're trying to get people of color and people of non-white males into these positions, you got to give them credit for the jobs they do, not the positions that they hold. We ought to judge people by how they perform and conduct themselves in the job. We ought not hold it against them when they assume the job. That is the same as saying you're going to be judged by your skin color rather than by your character. So let's not tell people to work hard and to get in these positions and then perform well so that you can be outstanding in what you do, and then hold it against them once they're there. I heard that about Val Demings because she's been the chief of police. We want people of color to be chiefs of police. So let's not hold that against them.
Congressman, really quickly here, she, of course, is making a lot of history. She becomes the third woman, the first black woman, the first Asian-American vice presidential candidate to be the nominee for a major political party. How do you think those firsts are going to affect voter turnout come November?
I think it's going to be a very, very, very positive thing. I think all of us know the country's at an inflection point. In fact, I think she has used that word pretty often throughout the campaign. But it's true. We are at a place in this country where we've never been before. As you know, I've studied history. I used to teach history, and I can tell you where we are. Black Lives Matter is someplace that we tried to get to back in the 60s and never could quite get there. We're there now. And I believe that the people of color, people of non-traditional notions, independents. I've been seeing polling coming in from South Carolina. Jimmy Harrison leading Lindsey Graham among independents. So I think we're at a great place in this country, and all she's got to do is keep on being herself, execute this well, and she will be the next vice president of the United States.
Congressman Jim Clyburn. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.